yeah, hold on a second.
I said, are you ready, Mahogany?
I said, hold on a second, let me go shut the door.
Oh, Jeff?
Wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna go smoke.
What?
No, I'm just picking.
Frakes
Oh yeah, I'm good to go.
and Terrence.
Well, I have some auto repairs that really need doing. I probably shouldn't be doing this podcast thing, but whatever.
Look, if you had the choice of sitting around and pretending to be a superhero from outer space or laying down in a parking lot to replace a fuel pump, what would you do? Which one would you procrastinate on?
Well, and everyone, welcome to Raiders of the Lark presents World's Most Available Heroes, a Mutants and Masterminds game. As you can tell, Tucker's having auto trouble, and I'm making fun of him for it instead of commiserating like a good friend would.
Well, no, all right.
I'm just giving terrible advice.
No, so I broke down on the interstate many, many years ago, and I ran out of people to call, so I called Terrence. Because Terrence kind of lived out in the boonies where I live, but not quite the same direction. And in the middle of the night, Terrence showed up at the place that my car got towed to, picked me up and took me home. And he thought he was dropping me off, and I thought he knew that I needed him to stay overnight so that I wasn't stranded in the woods the next morning and needed to ride back to town. So you spent the night at my house. And then drove me to my car the next day. And all you've ever asked for, you haven't asked for anything. And I bought you some chicken fingers at a gas station. And I thought we were even.
I mean, it's chicken fingers, man. Of course you're even.
That particular gas station had the best chicken fingers and honey butter biscuits.
Those were good biscuits.
No. So I'll let you pick. Because you came and you dug me out of a bond that one time.
That's right, folks. All it takes is one time. Do one good turn. People bond to you, and then you can abuse them for years after.
You can be a complete dick. Remember that time I saved you?
I mean,
That's why. Isn't that why y'all keep Kevin around?
Yeah, because the time he picked us up down in Florida.
Yeah, that was an ask. Okay,
I mean, it really was. And I really did appreciate what he did.
Not to downplay the highlight of finding out I had a true friend in Terrence, but the guy that towed my truck, hilarious.
Was he on something or just recently coming down from something? Because
he was just like he pulled over at a gas station to buy himself some Bud Light and Clamato juices so he can drink and drive maybe the rest of the way.
Cops not stop these trucks.
He saw me look at it, and he goes, "All the cops around here know me." Shit. Oh, he ended every sentence with shit. I was like, man, I don't care. You do what you got to do. I just appreciate you getting me. Man, I'd do this for anybody. Shit. And they just fucking downing them Bud Lights with Clamato juice. It's like midnight. He's getting fucked up, and he's driving people's broke down cars around. I told him that I thought I'd accidentally filled it with diesel because I've done that before, and it wasn't. And the next day he was like, "I was real disappointed. I thought I was gonna get a free full tank of diesel." Shit.
Last time I had to get a person to tow me anywhere, it was real late as well, and the guy clearly wanted cash to score with. Like he was asking me to pay him in cash. That night, he was like scratching and shit. Like,
I gotta get my Bud Lights and my Clamato juices. It was the same guy.
I've never, even back when I was real heavy on the sauce, it never caused me to itch. I think that was a different kind of
I know he wanted
requirement.
Yeah.
I said Bud Light and Clamato juice. He didn't.
He's moved up the scale.
Bud Light Clamato. So disgusting.
Clamato is a gateway drug to harder stuff.
Have you ever had a Bud Light with Clamato juice?
No.
I've had Clamato juice in Bloody Mary, but not a beer.
Yeah, it's surprisingly not bad. Not great.
Do you taste the clam?
It tastes like a boozy V8.
Yeah, that's where the saltiness comes from, probably.
It adds edamame, not fucking clam flavor.
Mm.
Umame.
Yeah, whatever.
Edamame is
Edamame.
soybeans.
It adds soybeans to it. I don't know how they, but they're there, and you just kind of have to swallow around them. But fuck it.
Yeah, I was
No, I
working.
do
You know what I meant.
I was working soup kitchens for the first time. A soup place, not a soup kitchen like for homeless people, but
I thought you were about to just bring out your philanthropist.
no, I don't like people that much. But I was still working the radio station, and a lot of my gigs would be like until the bar closes and then some. So there was a few times where I was like going to sleep at 4 a.m. and then getting up at like 2 hours later to go to work that morning.
Good health choices.
Yeah, and the guy there, my boss at the time, introduced me to Hair of the Dog with Bud Light and Clamato juice. And it came through a few times. And then I was like, well, maybe my lifestyle choices should change.
Unless you can become a regular Clamato buyer.
Yeah,
Nobody
I'm
wants
just
to be that.
a horrible alcoholic.
I was working construction on Kiowa Island in South Carolina, and I went out to a fundraising party that the owner of the company had, and ended up staying in Folly Beach with one of the other guys, former heroin addict, current alcoholic. The only thing he had in his fridge was Bud Light. And I crashed at his house, and I was like, oh, no, I can't just chug a beer for breakfast. And I turned on the water faucet just to drink some water. Have y'all ever smelled Folly Beach tap water?
It's awful.
It's awful. Long story short.
You know the best seller at the grocery stores on Edisto?
Water?
Bottled water. They sell buckloads of bottled water because all the water there sucks.
Smells like marsh. Yeah.
Yep. So long story short, I ended up drinking a Bud Light for breakfast, and then on the way to work, the foreman rolled up and he's like, "You want a beer?" I'm like, I already had one at 6:30. Sure. Bad choices, man.
Now those are industry appropriate choices. That's just doing your job correctly.
Yeah, no, the bad choices were working construction in Kiowa Island.
Oh, you had it easy. When I worked construction, it was a bunch of crackheads saying they were going to fight each other and battle cries like, "I'm going to treat you like the man who killed my daddy." That was my that was my stint with construction.
But there were a few rockheads in that crew.
Mm.
I'm assuming those are people that play music in the Flintstones.
Oh yeah. They bang on granite with dinosaur bones. That's what I meant.
All right. So yeah, that was a discussion we had about both auto failures and friendship and Clamato and junkies. And I feel like it's a good segue into our heroic adventure for the
The real heroics here are Mahogany letting Toker borrow her car.
Perhaps.
Maybe.
We'll see tomorrow.
She might just drop him off at the grocery store.
Good luck. One back to bed. All right. So when last we left off, you guys had recently returned from a visit to Adam the Cat's old stomping grounds, retrieving some items for him in order to help him recover from getting transformed into some sort of hell beast and fighting you guys. But that's neither here nor there. He announced that you guys were basically going to Europe to have an induction ceremony, like official, into the Crusaders of Justice. And then after that, he further announced that you would be taking on a little bit of a mission to space. Now, you have a week to burn before any of this happens. And Adam spends a lot of his time making a lot of calls, like doing teleconferences with other heroes and things like that. within the organization. And you see that young Billy has both befriended and become really rapidly attached to the Goblin Prince that you have brought on board, and they basically spend every waking moment around each other, just doing boy stuff for the most part.
Not like the good son boy stuff, right?
No, like going exploring and snooping around and like playing video games and attempting to teach one another sports, as their sporting references are quite different.
Yeah, I can only imagine what baseball translates to in the Fey realm.
Well, there's no severed head, so we'll just have to make do with this.
Probably better than football.
Oh, Jesus. But yeah, you guys have a week to kill. Did you have anything you wanted to knock out or mention before you guys head that way?
I think for that week, Cyber Squatch is going to spend a lot of time doing the Wolverine meme, where he's in bed with a framed picture of the 1978 Sasquatch movement, and he's just pining over his lost days.
All right. Anybody else?
I wrote that story.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to read that out? That'd be fun.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, go
So I guess at some point in time over this week, because I had that interaction where like I saw like the kind of like evil me or an evil one of my people, right?
Yeah, you were assaulted by a prophecy from the kind of potentially senile super seer known as Futuro.
So at some point, I think maybe I would sit down with either Adam Cat, probably Adam Cat, at some point, and just kind of tell him a bit more about my home world. And then this is what I wrote was the Forgrathians aren't totally different from Earthlings. We are very different, but some commonalities are there. Our lifespan measured on Earth would be in the hundreds. Our society shares a lot of similarities with your show Star Trek. Next gen, obviously. But we like your art, plays, shows, and poetry are not things that Forgrath does. Our text is blunt histories and sciences. There's love, but no romance, so to speak. When a pair decides to unite as one, it has more to do with common goals and passing of genetic code than anything else. A couple is granted the process to form 3 offspring, 2 of which will eventually replace the parents in their life station, and the 3rd to continue the growth of the Forgrathian population. I was that 3rd child. My duty was to choose a profession that had failed to continue growth. Some jobs are dangerous, and a Forgrathian may lose their life before like a natural death would occur. So then I had a hard time finding a fit when I would share my frustration with my family. They didn't seem to understand my view. I was experiencing uncharted feelings. My thought process wasn't in line with anyone else. I discovered I could lie.
Wait, you can't... Nobody lies there?
No, they didn't. Not until me, anyway. That's not a thing our society has ever experienced. A thought process of falsehood just isn't something that our brains would do. Like, the thought to lie was never a thought we had. So I used some of my newfound ability to change my station in life through nefarious falsehoods.
Oh, you padded your resume. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody does that.
Yeah, well, not where I'm from. And when my fabrications were discovered, it was decided that I should be removed from the equation.
Oh.
Once judgment had been passed, it was my brother that secreted me away into a custom spacecraft he had invented. He helped me to escape my fate there on the planet there. And it makes me think that because he was willing to do that, that maybe his thought processes had changed a bit too.
Adam is intrigued and you can tell a little horrified by her story. And he tells you, well, it's good to have you here, you know? I mean, you might not fit in there, but the ability to lie practically makes you a human being, frankly.
It's one of the things that drew me to a lot of your movies and TV shows.
Did you think they were real at first?
Yeah.
Explains a lot, actually. Well, after he gets that, he he begins to understand you a little bit better, and actually begins like kind of anytime you guys are like training or anything like that, or he's giving you like some advice, he always remembers to contextualize it for an alien, because to him you never he is a cat that learned to be human just like you are an alien learning to deal with them. Like, he is a cat that has had to do the same thing. Like, he tells you his story is that I was 3 years old and prowling around a munitions factory, and there was an explosion. I gotta say, I don't remember a lot before all this. I got all these powers, and the next thing you know, I learned to talk, I fly, I can shoot eye beams. I did a little bit of criminal shit, and then I decided to do superhero stuff instead. There's a lot more to it, but he peppers in stories about his life as he teaches you, in the hopes that you will draw similar lessons. Anybody else have anything they wanted to cover?
Not really.
Okay. Bubblegum, anything?
No.
All right.
My story was so awesome it scared the two of y'all away from.
I guess, I don't know. Just
The
the week flies by. Eventually, you find yourself on a jet that landed on the property to pick you up, to take you to New Swisslakia. They tell you that, they prefer teleporters not to do their thing in New Swisslakian territory, if possible, because it sets off a lot of telemetry, and it would definitely provoke a response. Just to enjoy the relaxing transatlantic flight.
We're not flying commercial, are we? Just
Oh, no.
Okay. I'm more concerned about, space and freaking out the normals.
Oh yeah, no. This is purely property of the Crusaders. One of their supersonic jets that you cut down like overland travel by quite a bit, based on speed alone. Basically, you've got like some of the most brilliant minds in human history, thankfully on the side of the Angels and working for the Crusaders. And so, the trip is mercifully short, a scant 3 hours, really.
Wow.
And you see, out the window, you see a little bit of Europe as you're zooming past and toward the Alps, and eventually you land on a private airfield in the country of Swisslakia. Initially destroyed during the Second World War, it had been resettled in the past 30 years. And so you have basically a thriving new community that seems to lean heavily towards super gifted people. You can see the most famous fixture of Swisslakia almost immediately as you disembark from the plane. The heroes mainly associated with this tiny micronation is the Boy King and his giant, a massive stone behemoth that was commanded by the royal bloodline of this country. You can see it sitting on a plinth in the center of the capital from almost any vantage point. And as you guys are chauffeured towards essentially the royal palace, you are given like the utmost VIP treatment. Anything you want or could ask for is provided to you along the way. And you can see that as you're coming into town, there are people gathered at the airport and further towards your accommodations outside the palace, where there are people like cheering for you. You're getting a literal hero's welcome here. You even see people holding up signs with your images on it. You even catch a Cyber Squatch cosplayer in the crowd. Cyber Squatch. And a lot of kids seem to have like toy replica swords of Cosmic Knights.
Sweet.
That make you feel.
You can't see me cry under this helmet.
I picture them like the noise-making ones that the Master of the Universe had, that light up and make the...
Oh, fuck yeah.
But yes.
Slightly unsettling.
The crew that you brought with you was, of course, Adam the cat. But Adam also brought along the boys as well, Billy and the goblin that has currently mostly been referred to by Billy as PG for Prince Crack.
No.
So Billy,
I was just, oh yeah, that guy.
yeah. So Billy and PG are just sitting there in the car, looking out the windows, doing all this. He's like, "Wow, I didn't know superheroes had it so good." And Adam corrects them and say, "No, we have it good where we have it good. In most other places, it's kind of terrible." Still, they seem a little awestruck by the whole thing, as I guess it's Cosmic Night. But when you guys just get out of your limo and you're led into like this massive, the Royal Palace here has been built as also a headquarters for the Crusaders of Justice. It has, in addition, underneath the royal crest of Czechoslovakia, there is the Crusaders of Justice logo, and there is a miniature statue of the Boy King and his giant in the courtyard. You are greeted there by, let me go back up. My notes. Where are they? You're greeted by a short elderly woman in a yellow pantsuit with a white shawl. She holds out her hand and says, "Adam, come to me." If you need like a visual image, kind of like an aged up Viola Davis.
That didn't narrow it down for me. I'm terrible with names.
She gives a wide smile and beckons you over. Adam flies over. "Oh my God, Lavinia, you look fantastic. You're looking like a liar as usual," she says, and she looks towards your group. And those of you who have been paying attention to other supers over the years, like instantly recognize, if not her colors. This is Little Miss Sunshine, one of the founding members of the Crusaders. She has a lot of solar-based powers.
Viola Davis?
Well, Little Miss Sunshine does. I'm sure Viola Davis has eye beams at least.
I had to Google it. I just looked at. We watched recently. She was in The Woman King.
Oh, was she
back in 2022?
Okay.
I remember that movie being okay. I remember the acting being real good. I can't remember the story, how the story was, but yeah, I remember liking it. But just as you were describing what her being a superhero, the poster I'm looking at is her with a sword, like.
Oh. No, she was more of the like yellow and white spandex kind of superhero from the 70s. Like,
okay,
is that also the Georgia representative?
No, she's an actress. She played. What did she play? She was in.
She played Amanda Waller in.
Yeah, she played Amanda Waller in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm looking at the wrong Viola Davis then.
Okay.
I was at first too, and then I thought there's no way Terrence dropped the governor lady as or a senator as someone.
Yeah, like I think it's a person you would have never heard of.
I thought she was the same person.
Oh.
Until I scrolled through and
I'd vote for Viola Davis. Fuck it.
Yeah. She was the Woman King.
Well, I'm just trying to give you guys like a visual.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
I didn't mean to distract. Sorry.
That's fine.
Yeah, you did.
Half this game is us distracting each other with dumb irrelevancies. That's neither here nor there. Like I said,
where do you think that saying came from?
Shut up. Those of you who pay attention, so I'm guessing just defrag really. Know her as the second chair of the current leadership of the Crusaders of Justice. She is basically rumored to be the person who makes all the decisions, because the actual chairman, based on tenure, is a superhero called Atlas, who has real kind of powerful jock vibes, but not real leadership kind of vibes. And they are, of course, the interim leadership. These are people who were recently appointed after the big disaster. But she greets you all, and she says it's wonderful to meet you. I can't wait to do your final interview before you get the go ahead. It'll be very enlightening, I think. Why don't y'all folks settle in, and we can get on with this a little bit later. We're gonna have lunch. Adam, you coming? Yeah, kids. He points to the boys and says, "You stay with them. I am gonna go off with my colleague here and do a little schmoozing." And he flies along after her as she walks along.
Everybody's paying attention. Bubblegum turned around when he said kids. She's still not quite used to being one of the adults in the room.
I see.
How's Adam looking, by the way? Is he mostly recovered?
In the last week, he's recovered mostly. He still looks kind of like rangy. You know, he's a 78-year-old cat, but like he's looking down to looking like his normal baseline of like maybe a 7-year-old cat. And you guys are left alone in this enormous hall dedicated to both the royalty here and the heroes that they are allied with. A person basically walks from around the corner eating a sandwich. Sort of a lean, powerful guy in full costume. His costume is purple and red, and he's got like this massive head crest on. And you can see that his arms are not covered in any clothing. He just has big, scaly claws for hands. This is the cassowary. He's easily recognized because he's probably one of the most popular heroes globally. He looks up and says, "Whoa, sure, right? G'day."
Hello, good day.
Yeah, you're a talkative bunch. All right.
I think we're all a bit overwhelmed with everything.
Yeah. All this. I'm not a big fan either. He basically finishes what seemed to be a sizable sandwich rather quickly.
He Scooby-Dooed that shit?
Kinda. Like he just mouths it down really fast. He's like, "Sorry, really high metabolism. Gotta keep the calories coming." He says, "I suppose you are the new folks from America."
Indeed.
Yeah, currently from America.
Right. That's right. You're an alien.
I guess if you're here, so are you, right?
Well, I suppose so.
Look at me picking up on how this works.
You see the boys like looking out from behind you guys at him. Prince Grack with curiosity and Billy with awe. Like, "Oh my God, I have comic books of this guy." He smiles. He's like,
sticky on the pages.
What? What does that mean?
It means don't be a gross kid.
Okay.
Well, was that Billy? That was Billy, though.
Yeah.
Billy's not.
Isn't he a kid?
He is about 12 to 13, roughly, mentally.
Yeah, so.
You're sick.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about like gum and candy and shit.
Oh. Yeah, me too.
Oh, right, yeah. So am I.
Exactly.
Billy turns to you, Bubblegum, says, "Hey, you're one of the adults in the group. May we go explore?"
Bubblegum's gonna look around at the other adults for...
You seem to be in idle chit-chat with the cassowary.
I mean, sure, just don't break anything. Don't get me in trouble, all right?
"Never, mistress," says Grack as they both sort of back up and then zoom down the hallways.
Don't touch anything.
You hear cassowary call it, yeah, teen sidekicks. I used to have one. Never doing that again. Too many hormones. Very distracting for them. Probably not for the robot, though. Anyway, if you need any kind of guidance, he walks over to the wall and you see there's like a number of on like a sort of a velvet pad on one of the walls. There's a number of little badges with the Crusaders Justice logo. He pops one off and hands it over to you and says, just press this and ask the question, and it'll take you anywhere you want. This place is enormous. I keep 2 on me just in case. And then he wanders off again, presumably back to the kitchen.
Did they give us any instructions on where they would meet us?
They have given you nothing.
I start playing video games.
Oh, well, like in your head?
Yep. With my own interface.
Okay.
Easy there. You're in public.
Oh, yeah.
Playing your own interface. I'll wander around, look at stuff.
You wander around, looking at all the various artifacts and paintings and things like that. They have all kind of stuff here, a mixture of posh rich people stuff and superhero stuff that doesn't necessarily mesh, but certainly makes for an interesting viewing experience. You find outside of like a big open windowed terrace area, you see an old man sitting under an umbrella at a little table with a book. He waves at you. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
It's good to meet you. I don't really get out much anymore. Have a seat. He gestures to some rattan chairs nearby. I know it's really too hot. It's too cold this time of year to be sunning out here, but I do love the crisp weather of the old homeland, don't you? The man has a long gray beard and he's wearing pajamas. And also underneath the paper, you see that there is a crown.
My name is Cybersquatch.
Oh, that's unique. They call me the Boy King here.
Oh. Well, hello, Your Majesty.
Well, we switched to a constitutional monarchy. I'm more of a figurehead anyway. Which is fine by me. I don't have to do any of that obnoxious superhero stuff any longer. I might be the longest-lived king they've ever had.
Congratulations.
No, it's terrible.
My condolences.
Thank you. I wanted to pass on my legacy ages ago, but apparently you have to die for that. Which is...
Can't you just abdicate?
I could, and have basically have. I'm sitting out here, drinking. He takes another drink and tastes it for a minute. Grey Goose, the cheap stuff, And I just... The problem is the transfer of power doesn't really happen until I'm dead. My great grandson is basically doing the work for me, but he doesn't have, and he points over his shoulder at the massive stone statue. He doesn't have control of that thing. I still do. I'm still stuck with it. Upsetting, really. He hasn't moved in, I'd say, 55 years or more. Anyway.
Is that what makes you the Boy King, having control over the giant?
Oh, yes. The Boy King and his giant. We were a sort of a pair, We'd go into war zones and soften up the enemy and take out some of the bigger siege-type things. I swear, I almost don't even remember the war anymore. It was so long ago, and I was 10. Back in 43.
So, a hell of an atmosphere for a 10-year-old.
Well, they gave me a gas mask and a crown. I did all right.
That's all a young boy needs.
Kids today, they have it much worse, in my opinion. Have you ever been on something they call Facebook? It's disgusting.
No, I miss Tom.
Who?
Oh, MySpace?
No. This is MySpace. I'm the king.
Yes.
What are you talking
about? I started to get into a long, drawn-out discussion about the cooler platform that was MySpace before Facebook became a thing.
All right.
And you could put your own favorite song on the front page.
As you're describing it, you hear a loud snoring sound come out of it.
Oh, we lost him. Nurse, wake this man up. I have stories to tell.
I need to discuss more social media things with him.
Have you ever heard of the movie Dragonheart?
He can the boy king, as it were, continues to snooze, exhausted by the effort of both interacting and hearing the story about MySpace. Defrag, you are still basically still in the hall playing video games, or did you go exploring it all too?
Well, I kind of like absent-mindedly follow everybody else.
Okay. So, yeah, you've been half paying attention to the Boy King, his story, and the further subsequent social media based rant afterwards. And Bubblegum, were you with the group? Staying with the group?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Then all of you hear a soft from behind you, and you turn to see a young woman. I'm not even going to really say woman. This girl has to be like 13, maybe, like a tall 13, gangly, like awkward face 13. But she's also wearing spandex, and she has a very expansive, big utility belt. Like, she's board thin, her hair is straight, she's got glasses on, and she says, "Are you Defrag?"
Oh, yes. Wait a second. Yes, I am.
I'm sorry to bother you. I'm kind of a big fan. I know you haven't done a lot in like public spaces, but you're kind of a net legend, really. You see her face turning bright red, Defrag, and she seems like genuinely embarrassed by her own words.
Oh, that's good. That's cool. I will actually summon. I am Defrag, and this is Minerva. And I actually summon Minerva.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And young lady, who are you?
I'm Dr. Jenny Impulse. She adjusts her glasses and she points to the eye with lightning bolts on her chest. I don't know if you've heard of me. You vaguely remember hearing about her 6 or 7 years ago when she was the first 6-year-old to graduate MIT.
Yeah, I'll actually do a quick search on the net and bring up as much statistics as I can and do a quick read through.
Okay. It's like, I've been following your career for a while. And you see that she basically, after she made a fortune in the tech industry by the age of 10, she decided to go into superheroics as a way to help save the world. And she has kind of come up in the Crusaders of Justice rather quickly because she is like one of the much valued geniuses within the set. And you also see on one of the last notifications or searches you get that she has been inducted into the Crusaders of Justice West Coast.
Okay.
Your peers on the other side of the country.
And I will go, congratulations. I see you got inducted.
Thank you. Of course you were a shoo-in, like your power set and like technological breakthroughs, years forward, any kind of hard light research and things like that. It's just stunning. Do you have your own lab? Are you like working with anybody for that sort of thing?
Well, not really, because it's not so much technological, but technomancy.
What? Oh my God! I had heard, like, I'm not like fully sold on magic as a technology, but I would love to see some theories on it. You see her face is entirely beet red, like, and you hear another voice from behind her. Hey, what are you doing? As another figure walks out from around the corner, sort of a virile, powerfully built man with a anvil jaw, sunglasses, cool haircut, dressed to the nines. He also has a pair of guns on either side. This one, you guys if you have paid attention to any of the social media or media in general, is the longtime leader of the Crusader Justice West Coast, Hollywood big shot, Gunther Steele, the gun-toting, two-fisted Hollywood man of action, both celebrity, movie star, and superhero. Well. It is in the East Coast. What's up, folks?
What movies would I know him from?
Mostly actioners.
All right.
I didn't come up with any right then because I had very little time.
No, that's the title. That's the title. Actioners.
Actioners.
Volume 1, 2, 3, 4.
The first one's just called Actioner.
Yeah.
Then the sequel's Actioners. 3, Actioners Reunite. More action.
And then, of course, there's the Dependable series where he gets older action stars again.
Depends.
The Dependables.
Actioners 4. Action.
Get down. Get down again.
Bubblegum's like, my dad loves your movies.
Well, that's fantastic news. I'll send you a headshot. You can mail him if you want. You want me to shoot it?
Mail? I'm not that old. Can I just take a photo with this phone and send it to him?
No, she knows he'd appreciate the
physical media.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
When he tells you he's going to send you a print, he's going to send you a framed print. He's going to send you a nice print.
Lovely. She's like, checking off her Christmas list.
The rest of the team's at the spa. I didn't expect to see you out here with, Your Majesty. The boy king snorts away. I was having a terrible dream. Every website I went to played music extremely loud, and it wasn't a song I recognized at any point.
But didn't it help you feel like you knew that person better?
Yes, and it made me dislike them more. He says, yeah, the other three are at the spa. I was just about to. He turns to Jenny. Jenny, spa day. she looks over there at the rest of you, and if she could get any more redder, she would. Instead, she's sort of turning a kind of purple now, as if she's not breathing.
No.
Young miss, are you okay?
Yes. I'll go to get a pedicure. Goodbye. And she runs off.
Not weird or anything.
Hollywood just awkward.
Smiles. Yeah. Says, I think she's sweet on you. I know you from the poster in her bunk. He points to you, D-Frag.
That is unusual because I didn't know I had any pictures out there.
I was just wondering, you have merch already?
Yeah, there's all kind of people that do bootleg merch of us. Most people do not sign on for that. There was a big hubbub about. Have you ever heard of Adam's Law?
Is that the one about kidnapping that was established in the 80s?
No, it's the one about illegal superhero merchandising, or rather, the legality of merchandising and superheroes' public-facing identities. Oh,
that was when they started putting the cat's portrait on the cigarette boxes.
Something. No. Oh, no. Those were custom. I know what you're talking about, actually.
Yeah, the cartoon cat that made smoking look cool for the kids.
Yeah. He leans in and says, yeah, your training officer, Adam, had a run-in with the law in the 80s, or rather, he found out that his old agent was making a scat ton of money off his image even after he had kind of semi-retired. And there was a big stink about it, and it led to a big federal probe, and yada, yada, yada. And let's say some people were dropped in unannounced, and some various T-shirt and magazine publishers kind of got some ugly notes. It was a big mess. Point is, here in America, we have to authorize them, but, we really can't stop foreign entities from doing. Like, here in America. You know what I mean.
Well, as an American, I assume that everywhere that your feet land, you assume is America.
It feels that way. Not going to lie. I guess I just take it with me. Anyway, I'm off. They got a sauna there. I'm aching to dip into.
Well, enjoy. It's very pleasure to meet you. I'll shake his hand.
Like he gives you like a fist bump instead of a hand, and like, all right, buddy.
What time are we supposed to show up somewhere?
Huh?
Did they say what time we were supposed to show up anywhere?
They told us nothing.
Not. You're just coming out of that stupor now.
Then I'm gonna go to a sauna.
Okay.
I'll take Minerva with me. We'll go enjoy ourselves.
All right.
Sauna, maybe / a hot springs or something. They got one there.
Yes. The castle is purposefully built on a hot spring.
Well, then I will go have some fun.
All right. How about the rest of you?
I'm going to go interrupt Jeff's fun.
All right. The spa area is big and expansive, and you see that it's got these massive Olympic pools, and it's got hot springs, and it's got like people doing manicure, pedicure, facials, mud bath, all kind of bullshit. But it also, you see, it's mostly unoccupied except for the 5 people in the Crusaders Justice West Coast.
Bubblegum is swimming.
All right.
Not only is she swimming, she is turning into water and doing like making spouts and like making a little water spout show.
Nice.
Like yeah, like if like you're in Vegas. Yeah, she's doing that in the pool. Good times.
You see a woman looks like a woman in her 30s with red hair on the diving board of one of the Olympic of the pool next door. She jumps up once or twice, does a couple of spins in the air, and then transforms into a Tyrannosaurus Rex and splashes everybody from her pool area. This is Captain Cretaceous. The probably the newest member of the Crusaders of Justice. She is a woman who has been able to slide down up and down the scales of evolution in order to recreate herself as a dinosaur and back again at her pleasure.
Fun.
You see a person playing in a nearby court. You see a masked person with like just bicycle shorts on, but he's still got a full mask on. He's playing squash with himself. He's just moving back and forth like that rapidly and that gracefully. This is the Blue Tresseur, the master crime buster and mystic master of parkour. The 5th one is a person that you probably would recognize, Cosmic Knight. You've seen him on various shows you watched over the years. This is Danny Subaraya, the Orange Animech Trooper, formerly of the Chimeratron Force, pilot of the Tortoise Animech, and last remaining member of the Chimeratron Force.
This universe's version of Power Rangers?
Basically.
I might fanboy a little bit.
He is the only one to return alive from the alien assault last year.
Oh, well, then maybe I'll leave him alone.
He doesn't seem like out of sorts, but he is just sort of relaxing. He's easy to tell because he still has the embedded medallion in his chest, even bare chested and in shorts.
And he may notice me staring.
Are you in full costume or are you just in casual?
I feel like at this point my nudity has become like a point of like, don't do that.
Okay.
So I'm in
bike shorts.
Yeah. Like what Vegeta wears on his days off.
Oh my gosh, well, I don't even know that.
It's short shorts and a tank top.
Oh, okay, I'm like, I only remember I seeing casual Vegeta. He's wearing like chinos and a Cosby sweater.
If it's cold outside.
He also wears that. That's funny.
Yeah.
But yes, you guys get to know your contemporaries on the Crusader Justice West Coast. Hollywood Big Shot is exactly the kind of person you'd think he is with a name like Hollywood Big Shot. He's a superhero. He uses both violence and gunplay with amazing skill. He's also a Hollywood star, and he basically behaves as such all the time. So he is basically the biggest hurdle one has to get over personality-wise. Danny Subaraya is quiet, given his past. He's basically just rededicated in life to just trying to get on with things. He still has his tortoise animech that they use to travel in when they have to. Blue Tresseur, he's a cipher. He much like your own kind of mystic character. He keeps to himself. He's friendly enough, but he is difficult to talk to, because if it's not sports, it's magic, and those are the two topics he knows about, and those are the two topics he likes to talk about. Dr. Jenny Impulse, teen girl, currently upswept in the emotion of of puppy love towards Defrag. And Captain Cretaceous is a gregarious, outgoing woman. Likes to be friendly, likes to meet new people. She welcomes you with open arms. She says, "Wonderful to meet you. They've been following your notices, and they talk about some of your missions, and then they sort of wait expectantly." As if she might have been expecting, some congratulations on something they have done.
Well, then, since I don't know any of theirs, I will actually bring up their portfolio and go through some of them and just throw a couple of those out there and comment on some of theirs, so it could be mutually beneficial.
All righty. After you do a quickie research session, they're comforted a little bit more. They basically were on edge about you guys, especially since there's literally a huge blue alien and a Nazi murder machine within your ranks.
Former attempted Nazi murder machine.
That's noted.
Unsuccessful Nazi murder machine.
I feel like when Jeff read off their Wikipedia page, you might have read it just a little too word for word from.
The afternoon flies by, and then finally you hear a familiar voice call out you from across the courtyard of the spa area. "Hey, get ready, guys! Everybody, suit up! We got a ceremony to get to. That means you, West Coast." He points toward Hollywood Big Shot. He's like, "Hey, normally my agent calls me for the things like that, but Adam, since it's you, I'll make the effort." And so they grab their towels and whatnot and began heading towards the locker rooms to get suited back up for business.
I feel like Cyber Squatch was about to take off his denim vest as soon as Adam came in and goes, "Oh, thank God."
Finally, after 2 hours of pressure, you're like, "Oh, maybe I'll take a dip." Oh, thank God.
Yeah, well, thank God.
Those of you who can suit up easily, do so. Those of you who takes a minute, but everybody begins marching a line, following Adam the Cat through the big structure, up a massive set of wide stairs to the audience room, as it were. And you guys are basically positioned outside of a chamber where Adam says, "All right, let's take West Coast first. West Coast, you go in." The West Coast Crusaders of Justice walk into the chamber, and Adam flies over and closes the huge doors behind them and turns to the group. It's like, "All right, what'd you think
about them?"
"Yeah,
all right." I wanted to talk to that one dude because he's basically a Power Ranger, but
Oh yeah, Subarai is a good kid.
The American is very American.
Oh yeah, that's his whole bit. Build a Hollywood career on it. Then got superpowers. Then got more famous. Amazing. Some motherfuckers have all the luck.
Yeah. I think that's called falling upward.
Yeah, I'd say that. But still, I guess his intentions are pure. He's been at it for 15 years. But yeah, they're in there meeting with the council. They are the replacement council after Crusaders Prime went missing. Let me give you a rundown so you don't embarrass yourself. Let's be honest here. You've already met Little Miss Sunshine. She is currently second chair. Lavinia Simmons, founding member of the Crusaders. Little Miss Sunshine has seen it all. She spent the last 30 plus years in administration, however, and since that whole Star Cataclysm brought her back to direct leadership to help Atlas navigate the current crisis. She hasn't really done any field work. I think she's a little embarrassed about being kind of grandma shaped at this point. I don't know. Humans look all the same to me, spandex or not. Great gal. No nonsense. She can blast every hair off your body if she wants to. Let's see. The main guy, right? Atlas himself. His secret origin. He was granted phenomenal strength by the god Atlas, teaching him secret exercises. It's ridiculous. It's nuts. No one believes it, but apparently it's true. He's probably one of the top-rated strength heroes. He's also been around for God knows how long. And he basically edged out Lavinia for the leadership role by like 6 months of tenure. He doesn't really want it. Everyone knows it. So, don't ask him any hard questions if you feel like questioning the guy. The other council members, let's see. There's Captain Wigelow, the Gelatin Avenger. Please do not make fun of him. He was created by a mad scientist to be a corporate mascot in like the fucking mid-70s, and like he gained sentience, did a little bit of a rampage, had a supervillain initial origin arc. A lot of people here have it, But he was turned to the side of justice, and now he is a huge sapient plasmoid that's cherry flavored. So make of that what you will. Goliath Girl, probably the youngest member there. She's been on the team since she was like 10. She's like 36 now. Let's see. Justice Jester. His jokes are terrible. Humor him, please laugh.
Only if he's funny.
Oh God, it's a tough one. And of course, Shadowstar, the Ultra Ninja. He's sort of a biosynth, kind of like our boy Billy. Only his major programming came from 80s ninjas movies, so he tends to think along those specific lines. I don't know.
He'll get my Kumite references?
He will get the Kumite references. He will get all your Godfrey Ho references. He will get any of your Bruce Lee exploitation references. He is made of this stuff. All of his wiring directly drawn from it.
As long as we can talk shit about Steven Seagal, we'll be. I have him covered for a few hours.
Yeah, you're gonna have a fun time then. And that is the council currently in charge of the Crusaders of Justice. We are working with what we have, and they are it. So, he basically sits down on his haunches on the ground. He's like, this marble is so freaking cold.
Would you prefer to be on my shoulder?
No. I'm gonna walk in on my own 2 feet. We're putting up a dignified front, aren't we?
Oh yes, of course.
Good. But I am gonna have a cigarette before I go in. He pulls one out of his cape and begins to light it with his eye beams. But then the doors swing open and he shoves it quickly back in the cape.
I'll put it out.
Okay.
So his cape doesn't catch on fire.
All right.
When we actually get in there.
The door opens and the Crusaders walk out. They're all smiles. They're all beaming. And they say, well, we'll see you at the official ceremony tonight. And Adam brings you guys in there. The council is waiting. There is Atlas at the front on a very big chair. He's a big man. He's got that Muscle Beach kind of look to him, except for, he looks like maybe 28, except for like some gray around his temples. He smiles, waves you in. Come on. You see little Miss Sunshine sitting next to him, dwarfed by him, really. She sits there with her arms crossed and is looking skeptical. She's got a pair of readers on as she looks over some paperwork. Captain Wigelow is in a chair, but like you can see him wobbling. He's basically a Jello mold in a cape. And he whips up, he holds up his hand and begins shaking it, and it shakes his entire body in a very not unfunny way.
Don't laugh at Wiggles.
Then he talks. Greetings, friends. How are you doing?
Hello, how are you now?
Goliath girl, you see, is wearing like a chambray shirt and a pair of white jean shorts with her boots up on the table. Basically, looking at her phone, she smiles up. Hey, y'all.
Hello.
Justice Jester, in full Jester regalia, is sitting on the table, cross-legged. He's a man who's getting up there in years. You can tell that, like, he probably has a hard time sitting at his age, maybe mid-50s, but he tries to stay limber, and he greets you all with his trademark goofy cackle. And finally, the last person you see is Shatterstar, the Ultra Ninja. He is sitting there wearing full black ninja gear. All you can see is his eyes, which are entirely black little circles on an almost featureless face underneath his mask. He wears a headband that says ninja on it.
Of course it does.
Does it say ninja in Japanese or in English?
Both. It's flanked.
English that looks like Japanese.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And this headband is orange and red, as opposed to the rest of his black garb. And he's, of course, bristling with knives, throwing stars, katanas, wakazashis. He's sitting there, like, with his hands together, looking at you intently. Greetings.
Kumate. Kumate.
We pan out, and the doors close behind you guys, and you guys have a meeting with the Crusaders of Justice main council, and we will go over that maybe in like a side thing. Just know that there's an intense period of grilling. You guys are all asked many questions about your origins, your goals. Adam gives testimony about how you've progressed and how you've learned to work as a team. That could probably still use a little bit more polish, but he thinks you're going to get it. And after going over all your questions and your answers and the testimony you see that there is also written testimony from the staff of the Drake Manor amongst their paperwork. They were all given questionnaires. You feel like they don't necessarily they are playing it close to the chest, and for a second there, it feels like they don't necessarily want you guys as the East Coast team. But then the tension breaks as Atlas says, "Well, you've all got my vote. I think I'm really sold on this." And in a sort of a relieved sigh, you guys are all inducted with unanimous votes from the leadership.
Hey.
Only one of them kind of hesitated, which was Captain Wigelow.
Is it because he saw Cosmic Knight stifle a laugh?
No, it's because his hand was stuck to the table.
Can we laugh now?
Yes, please, for God's sake, laugh. And so, after you guys are released back out into the public, or back out into the halls, you are met up again by the boys who ask how it went. Adam tells them the good news. And then that night, there's a big ceremony, public ceremony for the new Swisslockians, where you are all inducted into the Crusaders of Justice. And it's a big soiree. Like, you guys are all treated with the same kind of celebrity, the same kind of gratitude that you are pretty much unaccustomed to getting back in America, where the news treats your every adventure either with with skepticism, depending on the network, hostility. But, superheroics have to be done in a world where supervillains strike. And that is where we're going to leave off right here. But needless to say, you all have a good time if you're the kind of person that can have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
I do my best.
Okay.
I'm actually going to take Minerva on to dancing.
Oh, okay.
And show her the best time I possibly can. Treat her like a princess tonight.
You were making a teenage girl very jealous of a hologram. You know that.
And, well, I'll actually take her. I will dance with her too.
Okay.
Calm down, Jeff.
But I mean, Minerva's not just a hologram. Minerva's actually got a body and everything too.
Of course she does.
All right.
She's my robot girlfriend.
Hard light girlfriend. You were the dude from the the Blade Runner 2499 or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Blade Runner. His girlfriend was a hologram.
Yeah, and he was saving up money to get a mobile hologram projector that he could take her out on dates and stuff.
Huh. I don't think I've actually watched that one.
It's good. It's definitely worth a watch.
It's visually great. It's
Oh,
probably a little longer than it needs to be, if we're being honest.
Only a little.
At any rate. So yeah, all that goes off. You guys are basically get the world media experience, the full 9-member team of the Crusaders of Justice is announced. That's basically how they pronounce you guys and the West Coast guys. You're all the Crusaders of Justice. Your teams operate on different coasts, but you are meant to be one team, at least as far as the facing public goes.
I think Cyber Squatch would get to know Captain Cretaceous.
Yeah.
That would kind of be his point of contact with the West Coast team.
She's very outgoing, very gregarious, very curious about you. She's a nature lover, obviously, being both a paleontologist and mad scientist.
Yeah, that's kind of why I was like, she seems like somebody who vibes with she matches my freak.
I'm friends with the ninja. We send each other bad ninja B movies that actually have good choreography in them.
Oh yeah,
fight scenes, but
the fight choreography, he tells you, is all that really matters in these films.
Yeah.
I think Captain Crustaceous and Bubblegum bonded in the pool, having fun splashing other people and just really being a nuisance.
Yeah, that sounds good. Hollywood Big Shot probably keeps everyone at arm's length, but that's kind of just his vibe anyway. Subaraya will come up to you and Cosmic Knight and says, "Hey, I heard you wanted to talk to me."
Who did?
That's the ninja.
No,
that's
Subaraya
the Power Ranger.
Essentially the Power Ranger, yes.
Oh. I have his card in my back pocket. Would you sign this for me?
Holy shit, I haven't seen one of these since 2015. Jeez. Whew. He's like, I got this gig as a teenager. I did not expect to still be doing it now, especially with the rest of the team gone. But you know what? Here, I'm glad to have been able to come across a long distance fan.
So in season 4, episode 8, it starts off with this one song, but I don't think it's from the correct time period. Did you have any say in that?
I did not.
Who did? Who should I talk to?
But I can hook you up with the official what is it? Chimeratron Force fan club. They probably have people that know all these answers.
Ooh. I need those informations.
All right. He texted to you after a while. But the party goes on and everything's cool, everything's fine. And the next day, they head off back to the West Coast. The West Coast Crusaders of Justice. You guys stay on to be briefed on your upcoming mission. The streets are still basically covered with confetti and party gear. People are out cleaning. You guys are calling them to an early meeting. You can see Atlas doing like pinky push-ups in the corner, just out of boredom while the meeting is going on. Little Miss Sunshine from her chair gives you guys the brief. Well, here's the thing. As you know, that there is a certain rise in supercrime since the whole thing. And we are, I hate to say the word desperate because, I don't want to underplay your value to our group here, but we're going to need more raw recruits. And unfortunately, we are having trouble bringing people in. Like, teams are going out of fashion. There's a lot of solo heroes, and a lot of solo heroes are turning up dead. And we tried to warn people through back channels, work together, work as groups. The problem is you have a bunch of people who are willing to put on silly outfits and beat people up for, whatever kind of morality that they feel like they have. It attracts a certain individualistic lot. So teams in general are kind of a rarity. The Crusaders of Justice is basically a loose affiliation of people, of like-minded people, who like to think that they are a loose affiliation, even though they lean on our resources pretty fucking heavily all the damn time. But that's neither here nor there. You hear Atlas groan in the corner going, oh, more budget? No, we're not doing budget today, Atlas. No. Have any of you heard of the Icebox?
No. I assume that's some kind of prison.
It is. We don't really advertise it, but there are certain supervillains that and by we, I mean the various members of the councils down through the years, this side are too dangerous to keep on Earth. And, everyone says, oh, that's just extrajudicial imprisonments. That isn't a way to operate in the world where we have laws and courts and whatever bullshit. But the point is, some people are literally too dangerous to keep on Earth. So we send them to the Icebox, and we try to rehab them. We try to make them better. It does not work most times. However, there are a few exceptions, people willing to back away from the darkness within themselves. And maybe, perhaps, and we used to aim them toward a normal life back on Earth someday. But the council has decided 4-1. She looks at the rest of them to give some of our rehab prisoners a chance to do good, to make up for their past actions. The Icebox is a spaceship, or is a prison orbiting Mars, and I need you to bring back some recruits for training for the Crusaders of Justice. Some of the reformees that they say are good to go. I'm sending an entire team of heroes in order to do this as a statement to them that they will continue to be watched. This is not just an escape route. I know you were hoping for the whole going out, doing some space adventure things here, but this is a very focused adventure. This is a very focused mission.
Adventure, you say?
They got me talking like a comic book from being around all these costumes. She looks down at her paperwork, says, are you willing to do this? We can't make you. Like I said, this is an entirely voluntary group. You do not have to do this. We can try with the West Coast, but we picked you guys purposely because, one, more of you would be able to adapt well to combat situations in the spaces necessary. Meaning Captain Cretaceous would not be able to do much more than a velociraptor if she had to go into a combat situation, and sometimes you need more than that. Also, we really don't want to send any minors to space, so we're not sending Dr. Impulse. But if any of you want to back out now, please do it.
No, I'm good to go.
Excellent.
I've always wanted to try out my new spaceship.
You have a space? All right. Well, we have one provided, but if you want to.
Well, we could take both.
I'm just going to assume some sort of shrink ray is involved and get on with this. How about you, Miss Bubblegum?
Totally down for space.
Excellent.
Let's hit it.
And I'm going to assume that you are familiar with the environment. The main reason we picked this team for this cosmic night.
Space scares me. I don't think I want to go. But no, yeah, I'm vastly familiar with the darkness, endless terribleness that is space. Let's go back up there.
Excellent. Adam, you're gonna have to take the replacement group. And do your best to cover the East Coast. The East Coast is actually more covered by other super teams that aren't us, with you missing. So Adam's going to be training after numerous discussions. Adam's going to be training those two boys that you brought in while you're gone. They have not been given code names. We don't know what they can. We know one of them is a fairly powerful android of some type, and the other one is she looks down at the paper, goblin.
Yeah, right? Like a legit goblin.
All right, sure. I've seen weirder, whatever. A piece of paper slid in front of her desk, and she says, "No, tell him no. Sorry, for some reason, word keeps getting back to the home out there in Nevada, and some of the seniors keep trying to volunteer for missions like this. They're like, "Oh, we're good as dead. We're old. We want to go out with a bang." Like this one, she holds paper. I don't know if you've heard of him, fellow named Fat Man, the human flying saucer.
I'm familiar.
She says, "Yeah,
is that a rod?"
No, absolutely not. The point is that there are a lot of people itching to go to space. You might be the only people qualified we have right now. So, welcome on board. Thank you for your service to the Crusaders of Justice. In case I'd never see you again, I know that's real bleak, but space is scary and dangerous. So, you'll be leaving in 3 hours.
Just enough time to shower and watch Event Horizon.
Yeah, let's get in the mindset for space.
And as the team goes to pack their bags, pre-flight, 0 hour, 9 a.m.
And I'm gonna be high.
We will conclude this episode and come back to you next time with a more action-packed adventure. Does anybody want to do a cover for this particular episode? Well, let's see. What do we call it? What are we calling this issue of world's most available heroes? We're gonna call it The Other Guys.
Oh, my Hero Lab froze. There we go. The last one was storage?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is called episode 6 or issue 16.
The Other Guys.
Starring Will Ferrell and that terrible person.
With that title, I'm picturing just a full team shot of the West Coast.
Okay, yeah, just and a logo change.
Yeah,
yeah.
Make it look like we've just pivoted teams.
Yeah, and a fleshy flying saucer in the background.
He's not fleshy.
He is for the cover art.
It's mid change like the Animorphs.
Any alternate cover ideas before we go?
No.
All right, we'll take that as a note.
A T-Rex trying to do a cannonball.
Oh, that is a nice one, man. That's a splash. Get it?
Because they have no arms to grab their knees with.
That's funny.
What cartoon was it where the kid, to get away from the T-Rex, just stood next to a wall?
Oh,
and it kept being like, "My arms are too short and my head is too big to eat you."
Yeah, it was. I can't remember. It was like a family name, I think.
Yeah,
yeah. What is some kind of like future?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either. It was but it's like a cartoonish type thing, and it's like he does little arms for the T-Rex. It's like it's just that's so funny. I just remember it.
I have no recollection of what y'all are talking about.
It was called Meet the Robinsons. There you go.
Yeah, was it really?
Yep.
Cool.
And you can watch it on Disney Plus if you're a subscriber.
I remember that scene being funny, and I think I remember that scene being the only thing that I thought was funny. But I might just be remembering it wrong.
No. All right. Well, thanks for watching it or listening. Sorry, everybody.
If you're watching, have fun.
Yeah, enjoy the
logo,
the visuals,
the
wonderful
lush.
visuals.
I put the little mouth thing, like when we talk, there's the little sound waves that move. All right, thanks everybody.
Good night.
Good night.